In this video, we're going to break down 10 highly profitable rental businesses, starting with the most expensive and working our way down to the most affordable. Rental businesses are often just a better business model to start compared to other kinds of businesses because rental businesses utilize equipment and hard assets to generate income instead of employees. When you remove the employees, you remove a lot of the problems that a lot of businesses have. Even if you don't make it through this entire video, guys, there's one concept that you should absolutely grasp, and it's this. There's a lot of money to be made with rental businesses if you pair cheap vacant land with prefabricated assets. At least half the ideas discussed in this video pair cheap vacant land with prefabricated assets. When you put the two together, you can start to make serious money. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name is Adam Zwingler, and I have built several service-related companies, some in blue-collar work. I've exited those for a higher amount of money and then taken that profitability and rolled that into other larger companies. If you're interested in learning how to start a service-related company, consider liking and subscribing. This channel is dedicated to helping you uncover really good service-related companies, start them, scale them, and exit them at a higher price. Okay, so first on the list is prefabricated mini homes. Keep in mind, guys, this is our most expensive of all these rental business ideas. Real estate is expensive, but what I like about prefabricated mini homes is that they can potentially break you into real estate in a much more affordable way, cheaper cost, and an opportunity to buy a couple of these and turn them into a really cool rental business idea. As you may know, my wife and I own a land business where we buy, sell, and invest into land. And recently we had a gentleman buy a 25-acre piece of land from us. He bought it for around $50,000. And immediately after closing on it, he bought a prefabricated mini home, put that on the land, and is now renting it out. And now the land is worth $150,000 to $200,000 because of the value that he added to the land. There's really two things that you need for this kind of a business model. You need a cheap piece of vacant land paired with a prefabricated hard asset, which is a prefabricated mini home. The prefab home industry has come a long way, even just in the last 5 years. And there are now companies that are working on incredible prefab build concepts. Take, for example, Orcapod, a loom house, and Formflow Living. All three of these companies are extremely compelling prefab home companies that are now working on incredible concepts that will be available to order at a click of a button in the years to come. What we're seeing is clean, modern, and minimalistic designs with incredible curb appeal on a lot of these prefabricated homes that can potentially make an incredible rental business model where you can set up a variety of these on a vacant piece of land and start to rent them out. You usually don't even need to have utilities outside of just a porta potty or some sort of a bathroom, and this can be very off-grid, short-term rental living on vacant land. A loom house offers a compelling, beautifully designed prefabricated home that comes in at $63,000. Assuming that you could pick up a cheap piece of vacant land, you could potentially be all in this investment for around $75,000 and have it set up to have a sleek, income-producing rental business. Okay, so in a nutshell, $63,000 for the prefabricated home, $10,000 for the vacant land. That adds up to $73,000. Now, let's look at what a rental business would look like if you bought 5 of these and put them on a $10,000 piece of vacant land. Okay, so you buy 5 prefabricated homes. That works out to be $315,000. Cheap piece of vacant land at $10,000. That adds up to $325,000. Assuming that you can get $3,000 of rental income off of each of those, that adds up to $15,000 of monthly recurring rental income, which actually works out to be $180,000 per year that you will collect off of these 5 buildings. Okay, so your startup cost is $325,000 to $350,000, maybe even higher once you factor in some additional things. You've got monthly rental income of $15,000 a month, and the operational difficulty is somewhere around a medium, I would say. What I really like about this rental business is that it is backed by hard assets that are going to appreciate and increase in value over time. There's a lot of benefit in that. What I would also mention here at the very end is, guys, this is just a very high-level overview of these rental business ideas. There's plenty of other additional expenses and operating expenses. So if you're going to pick one of these to do, just know upfront that you're going to have more research to do, and there will be additional costs and additional issues that you will run into. Okay, so next on the list is luxury portable restrooms. Guys, porta potties have come a long way in the last few years from what they originally were, which was just a very basic plastic blue box. Luxury portable restrooms are now a very viable and profitable rental business. Take, for example, the US-based company Stala, which has a wheelchair-accessible luxury portable restroom that is built on a trailer and can be pulled from one event to another. It costs $50,000 though, so if you're not interested in spending $50,000 on a luxury portable restroom, then good news is you have a viable option that you can buy from China on Alibaba for $7,500 brand new. Luxury portable restrooms are great for weddings, sporting events, and other high-profile get-togethers, and they offer a variety of amenities that you don't find in a normal porta potty, like AC, a sink to wash your hands, and shower amenities. According to the website VIP Luxury Restrooms, if you have a 3-stall one, it can rent out for upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 for the weekend. Let's take a look at a revenue breakdown on an investment in 5 of these luxury porta potty rentals. Let's assume that you get 3 that are the 2-unit rentals, and that's going to cost you $15,000 because there is a discount if you buy a number of them. So let's assume that you're going to get 3 of those for $15,000, and then you're also going to get 2 of the 3-unit luxury porta potty rentals for $20,000. The total investment is $35,000. Now, you can rent these out for on average $1,500 for a weekend, and you've got 5 of them. So every weekend you can make $7,500. Let's assume that over the course of a month, you can make on average $30,000, and over the course of an entire year, that's $360,000 in rental income on 5 of these luxury porta potty rentals. Okay, so startup cost is going to be roughly $35,000 to $40,000. Monthly recurring revenue is $30,000, and operational difficulty is going to be hard. I think the logistical nature of trying to deliver these things on the weekend and then, of course, get them cleaned out and flushed out is challenging. But the monthly recurring revenue is much higher than our first business idea. Let's go ahead and dive into rental income business number 3. And that is trailer rentals. And guys, trailer rentals is actually a very good rental business. And the reason is because trailers don't break down. There's very little things that can go wrong compared to other construction equipment that you can potentially rent out that has a whole heap of things that can go wrong. Trailers are simple contraptions, and they're very easy to rent out, and there's very little things that can break. Check out Ruthless Rentals out here in Denver. This company offers a variety of open and closed trailer options for rent, with a daily rental rate of anywhere between $100 and $200 a day, depending on the kind of trailer, and a weekly rental rate of anywhere between $500 and $1,000 for the week. Not bad for sending out a low-maintenance piece of equipment to earn you cash every single day. Let's break down the revenue numbers. So let's say that you invest into 5 flatbed trailers at $2,500 each. That works out to be $10,000. And then you also buy up 5 enclosed trailers at $5,000 each. That's $25,000. So the total investment is $35,000. Okay, so let's work with an average daily rental rate of about $120 per trailer. And let's assume that you have about 50% of those trailers rented out on any given day. So that's $600 in daily revenue, $4,200 in weekly revenue, almost $18,000 in monthly revenue, and over $213,000 in annual revenue. The startup cost on this is going to be somewhere between $20,000 and $100,000, depending on how much the lot is that you need to put the trailers on and how many trailers you want. And you should have monthly rental income of about $20,000 or more on these flatbed trailers. I think the operational difficulty of this is easy. You know, these trailers don't break down very often. They're a simple piece of equipment. They're super simple to rent out. And I think it's kind of a no-brainer rental business. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to business idea number 4. And there's 2 potential things that you might need if you're looking to start one of these rental businesses. 1 is an affordable website, and 2, you might need some consulting to start or scale your business. If you need either of those, you can find them on our resource website, which is www.buildupuniversity.com. These are the only 2 things that we offer on that website, and if you need them, consider coming over and getting some consulting or having us help you with your website. Okay, so number 4 is commercial tents and accessories. And of all these rental business ideas, I feel like this is the one where I'm going to present the pricing and there's going to be a bunch of haters that come out and say that I'm out of touch with reality and that I'm lying to my audience and that I don't really know what I'm talking about with the pricing. But the reality is when you look how much it costs to rent out these commercial tents for weddings and other special events, the pricing gets quite pricey. Based on our research out here in Colorado and talking to several tent rental companies, purchasing a large commercial tent can be quite expensive. According to Party Tent Direct, The cost to buy a commercial tent can range anywhere between $400,000 and $25,000 or even higher. I would say expect to spend on the higher end of that range for a large commercial party tent. Okay, so the initial investment cost is going to be roughly $20,000 for your tent and $10,000 for your accessories, a total of $30,000. Let's take a look at the revenue that you can generate off of a commercial tent rental business. So the average tent with lighting ranges anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 to rent it. The accessories cost anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000 to rent the accessories. So let's just use some round numbers here and assume that somebody can rent your tent for $12,000 and the accessories can be rented for $17,500. So the total amount for the commercial tent plus the accessories works out to be $29,500. I know it sounds absurd, and it really is absurd, but if you rent these out 4 times a month, that comes to $118,000 of monthly rental income and over $708,000 annually. If you're in a place where you can do this that's not seasonally. I know those numbers sound absurd, but call commercial tent rental companies and you will see that this is exactly how much it costs to rent these kinds of tents. Okay, so your startup cost would be roughly $35,000, $40,000. Your monthly rental income could be upwards of $118,000 a month. The operational difficulty is hard, okay? Here's a few additional thoughts, guys. You can charge 30% more for outdoor tents. People love to do events outdoors. Insurance is definitely a major factor and can be expensive. There's definitely a potential seasonality component to this depending on where you live. And you need to factor in employees. You will probably need 5 to 10 of them to run this kind of a business. Okay, so number 5 is prefabricated storage containers. And as you can see, guys, there's starting to become a running theme in this video that pairing vacant land with prefabricated hard assets can be a powerful combination for creating a really good rental business. Build the right business on a piece of vacant land and buy the land on owner finance payments, right? Where you make payments to the person that's selling that land to you. And if you build the right rental business, that business could potentially pay off that land for you over time. Prefab storage containers are a very straightforward business model. A quick search on Alibaba.com shows that you can buy storage units for on average $2,300 a piece. Okay, so looking at a cost breakdown, you can buy about 10 storage containers for $23,000. Let's assume that you can buy a half-acre lot for about $5,000, so you might be all in this $28,000. Your monthly rental rate would be roughly $100 per storage container. If you got 10 of those, that's $1,000 a month in rental revenue, and over the course of a year, that's $12,000. So your startup cost is $28,000. Your monthly recurring rental income would be $1,000, and the operational difficulty of this is super easy. Number 6 on the list is prefabricated mini offices, which are much more affordable than prefabricated homes. A quick search on Alibaba shows that there's a variety of affordable options that can be built with industrial materials or containers. Prices range anywhere between $1,500 and $10,000 per mini office. This is another concept where in order for this business to be highly profitable and effective, you need a cheap piece of vacant land and 5 or 10 mini offices. Let's go ahead and break down the revenue so you can see how much money you can make in this rental business. Okay, so your startup cost is going to be $17,500 on average to buy 5 mini offices at $3,500 a piece. Factor in maybe another 10 grand for a half an acre of vacant land that you could put the mini offices on. Now, assuming you can rent these out for $500 a month and you got 5 of them, then that means that you will have a rental income of $2,500 a month and $30,000 of rental income over the course of a year. So your startup cost is $27,500. Your monthly rental income is $2,500. And overall, I would say that this is a very easy rental business to start. Once it's set up and once you have renters in there, you're not doing much of anything except collecting rent. Okay, so number 7 is RV and boat storage. Guys, this is arguably my favorite of these 10. It's definitely up there at the top. What I love about it is that you really only need 2 things in order to make this a profitable rental business. The first thing you need is a piece of vacant land that's been excavated and flattened the right way. And secondly, you need a security fence. If you have those 2 things, you can park RVs on here and start charging rental income immediately. Let's go ahead and break down the numbers so you can see how much you can make. Okay, so you need to invest into a piece of land. Let's say that that's going to be $10,000 with gravel. Then you also need to invest into a security fence. Let's say that you put $10,000 into that. So your total investment is $20,000. Keep in mind that number could be much higher depending on where you want to do this in the country, but 20 grand initially invested, and people will potentially pay you $200 to store their boat or RV on this piece of land. If you can rent out 50 spots on this piece of land, then that works out to be $10,000 per month in rental income, upwards of $120,000 a year. So you have a startup cost of about $20,000. You have monthly recurring revenue of $10,000. And I think this could be a super easy rental business to execute on and actually run once it's actually set up. Next on the list is starting a rental business focused around what we call just electric stuff. Because what we're seeing is that there's a fairly strong trend of people moving away from traditional motorized equipment to electric equipment. For example, there is an electric bike shop in Denver, Colorado, right down the street from us, that did $3 million in electric bike sales last year. On top of that, they did $1.2 million in electric bike rentals, just bikes. Think of all the other things that are electric that could potentially be rented out. Here's a growing list of electric equipment that you can rent out: bikes, scooters, mopeds, one-wheel GT, wheelchairs, boats, golf carts, roller skates, lawnmowers, and other yard tools. So breaking down the costs here, let's assume that you dumped $15,000 into buying 15 electric rentals, whether it's scooters, mopeds, whatever it is, bikes. And let's assume that the average daily rental is about $40 on each of those pieces of rental equipment. And on average, you can rent out 10 of those per day for $400 of daily rental income. That works out to be $2,800 a week, over $11,000 a month, and $142,000 in change over the course of a year. Your startup costs are going to be $10,000, $15,000. Your monthly rental income could be $11,844. And on a scale of difficulty, this is fairly easy to get this started and rent these out. Next on the list, guys, is Tiki bars. And Tiki bars is not exactly one of those rental businesses that you would normally come up with unless you're Ben Bassham, who is the owner of CrateWorks Custom Bar Counters. Ben has been making Tiki bars for years now, and what he realized very quickly was that there's actually a huge demand for people that want to buy and rent Tiki bars from him. If you're looking for an affordable and off-the-radar rental business, then look no further than Tiki bars, guys. I mean, who even comes up with this kind of a thing? But the reality is you can rent these Tiki bars out for a good amount of money. Let's go ahead and break down the numbers so you can see what the revenue looks like on a Tiki bar business. So you're probably going to spend about $12,500 buying up 5 Tiki bars at $2,500 a piece. Assuming you can rent those out for $500 for a weekend per Tiki bar, then you can potentially make $2,500 per weekend renting out these 5 Tiki bars. That works out to be $10,000 per month and $120,000 per year if you're renting these out on the weekends. So your startup cost is probably going to be about $15,000. Your monthly rental income could be upwards of $10,000. And I would say this is a medium to easy rental business to start. The reason why it's somewhat medium is because Tiki bars are heavy to move around and you probably need 1 or 2 people to help you with that. But overall, this is a very easy business to actually run from a rental business perspective. Last on the list is starting an upscale moving box rental company, guys. Moving is a hassle, and one of the things that you need to sort out early on is where and how you're going to acquire moving boxes. A quick look on the Home Depot website shows that you will spend about $250 buying up 50 moving boxes to move your house. Maybe you don't need 50 moving boxes to move your house, but I know in our house, a house full of girls, we absolutely need 50 moving boxes to actually move our family. But what if there was a company that offered free pickup and delivery of upscale moving boxes? So instead of buying $250 worth of cardboard moving boxes from Home Depot, instead you order upscale, more durable moving boxes from a company that will drop them off, let you use them for the move, and then come pick them back up again. And if all of this can be done for the exact same price of $250, then why not, right? That's what California Box Rental decided to do. And now they have a moving box rental company that offers affordable and competitive pricing without all the waste of the cardboard from Home Depot. Pricing on their website shows that you can rent 25 boxes for $129 a week, or you can rent 50 boxes for $199 a week. A quick search shows that you should be able to buy heavy-duty plastic storage boxes for anywhere between $2 and $9 per box. With that in mind, let's go ahead and break down the numbers to see how much you can make. Okay, so assuming that you buy 250 storage containers at $5 a piece, that'll work out to be $1,250. And then you'll also need a small transit van at $5,500. So that startup cost is $6,750. So assuming your weekly rental rate is $200 and you have 5 rentals per week, that works out to be $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, and $48,000 a year. So your startup cost would be roughly $7,500. Your monthly rental income would be roughly $4,000. And I would say it's easy to medium difficulty, maybe somewhat medium only because you're delivering and picking stuff up. There's a logistical challenge there, not nightmare, but challenge. But that's about it, guys. That wraps up our second rental business video here, where we break down great rental business ideas. If you're interested, you can check out our other one. We'll have that one pop up on the screen, and a list of all of our other great videos that we have on other service-related companies that you can start. All right, on to the next.